Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers Patrick Queen reminds fans of prophetic Justin Fields tweet. Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen has always been a fan of Justin Fields, going back to the 2021 NFL Draft. "I can't wait for Justin Fields to ball on all the haters, LOL," Queen tweeted in April of 2021. A little over 3 years later, Fields is taking first-team reps against Queen at training camp, serving as his starting quarterback as Russell Wilson works his way back from a calf injury, and the linebacker hasn't forgotten what he once urged the young playmaker to do. Queen joked as he reposted that opinion on August 3, reminding fans of the 2021 take that he had about Fields. Lately, Fields' offense is giving Queen's defense a run for their money. Day in and day out. Perhaps the hot streak jogged the linebacker's memory. Or maybe he's starting to realize the potential Pittsburgh might have if Fields fulfills his prophetic tweet. If he succeeds with the Steelers, the 25-year-old QB could be leading their offense long-term, with Queen helping to lead the defense on the opposite side of the football. In that scenario, the two cornerstone pieces would attempt to work hand-in-hand in pursuit of a championship. According to Alex Kozora of Steelers Depot, Fields' approximate training camp numbers over the past 6 practices, up to August 5, are 65 for 88, 73.9%, with 637 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Kozora called those stats pretty good, but the truth is that Fields' performance is becoming harder and harder to ignore. On August 5, A to Z Sports Pittsburgh beat reporter Rob Gregson relayed that Fields has been making a lot of tight window throws lately. He included video of a pass to wide receiver Van Jefferson in that post, but the more tantalizing chemistry has developed between Fields and George Pickens. Gregson shared a bullet from Fields to Pickens between 3 Steelers defenders before sharing a nice RPO read that ended up in the WR1's hands again. The most noteworthy highlight of the day was a play action to Pickens that went for 70 yards and a touchdown, although the wideout was able to find a huge gap in the secondary for Fields. Justin Fields has gotten better and better every practice, and the Steelers love the guy, ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter told the Pat McAfee Show on August 5. "He's a natural leader and he's got support." Schefter added that he's not quite ready to count out Wilson as the starter just yet, but acknowledged that when someone's not practicing, it gives somebody else the opportunity. He also relayed that by all accounts, Fields has impressed the Steelers so far. Asked and answered, August 6. Dick Vacek from Portage, Pennsylvania, in answering a question in the July 30 segment of Asked and Answered regarding Maurkice Pouncey's Hall of Fame candidacy, you referenced the phenomenon of Steelers fatigue. Would you be willing to venture a guess why this occurs? In thinking about the other major sports halls of fame, I don't ever recall hearing anyone say, Yankees fatigue. Answer: I'm not going to get too into the weeds on this, but a simple explanation has to do with the number of voters on the Pro Football Hall of Fame selection committee versus the number of voters for the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. This is from the Pro Football Hall of Fame's website. The Pro Football Hall of Fame selection committee, which can be up to 50 persons, is charged with the vital task of continuing to be sure that new enshrines are the finest the game has produced. The committee consists of 1 media representative from each pro football city, with 2 from New York and 2 from Los Angeles, as those cities each have 2 teams in the National Football League. There are 17 at-large selectors, who are active members of the media or persons intricately involved in professional football, and 1 representative of the Pro Football Writers of America. Every candidate, for induction, is carefully scrutinized and must receive at least 80% approval of the selection committee at the annual meeting before he can be elected. The Baseball Writers Association of America, BBWAA, votes for Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame class each year, and there are currently more than 700 active members of the BBWAA. From the Baseball Writers Association of America's website, BBWAA, the Baseball Writers Association of America, members earn a Hall of Fame vote from its organization, which is independent of the Hall of Fame, by maintaining 10 consecutive years on a baseball beat. Those Hall of Fame eligible voters are required to complete a registration form and sign a code of conduct. Potential Hall of Fame voters must meet requirements as active members covering the game, with a 10-year grace period for those no longer active. Any candidate, for the Hall of Fame, receiving votes on 75% of the ballots cast shall be elected to membership in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. As you can see, it's a simple case of arithmetic. If someone requires 80% of the votes cast by up to 50 voters to be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and someone requires 75% of the votes cast by up to 700 members to be elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame, it's much easier to scuttle a candidacy in professional football than it is to scuttle a candidacy in Major League Baseball. 5 voters with a case of Steelers fatigue can have a significant impact, where it would take a much higher number of voters with Yankees fatigue to have that same impact. Steelers rumors: Pittsburgh is last team left in trade war for Brandon Aiyuk. If you are one of many Pittsburgh Steelers fans who have been banging the table for Brandon Aiyuk, you may finally get your wish. Trade talks are heating up, and Pittsburgh is reportedly at the forefront for the talented 49ers receiver. On August 5, Adam Schefter joined the Pat McAfee show to discuss the possibility of an Aiyuk trade. Later that day, multiple reputable sources posted on social media that a trade was in the works. I spoke to a source close to the situation who claims the 49ers had trade offers from both the Patriots and Browns, but Aiyuk's party told the 2 possible suitors he would not commit to signing an extension if traded to New England or Cleveland. My source also noted that Aiyuk wants to play with quarterback Jaden Daniels in Washington, but the Commanders don't have enough interest in trading for the star receiver. This leaves Pittsburgh as the remaining team in the race for Aiyuk. My source suggests Aiyuk would be willing to sign in the ballpark of $28 million per season in new annual earnings if traded to the Steelers. To get a deal done, General Manager Omar Khan may be looking at a trade involving a second-round pick in 2025, while throwing in veteran guard James Daniels to sweeten the deal. NFL analyst Cam Marino of NFL Draft Buzz reported the 49ers have agreed to a trade that will send Aiyuk to Pittsburgh, though there has been no confirmation from national NFL insiders. With hints of a trade dropping left and right, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been blowing up on social media like never before prior to their first preseason game against the Texans this week. There was never a doubt that the team had an interest in acquiring an upgrade at wide receiver, as Khan confirmed that they reached out to the 49ers about a trade for a receiver during the 2024 NFL Draft. Now it looks like we are in the final stages of the Brandon Aiyuk trade saga, a road that likely leads to Pittsburgh. The Steelers had question marks at the wide receiver position all offseason, and their situation didn't get better when Roman Wilson sustained an ankle injury during the first padded practice at training camp. Despite flashes from Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin III, Pittsburgh can hardly count on an internal option to be the answer to their problems at wide receiver. Meanwhile, the 49ers may not have as much incentive to send one of their best players packing in the midst of a Super Bowl window, but they could be running out of options. My source told me the 49ers love Ricky Pearsall's fit in the offense, and they want to wash their hands of the Brandon Aiyuk drama before the start of the 2024 season. The Steelers and 49ers have been in trade discussions, and if both parties can agree on an asking price, a deal could be finalized before the start of the season. Buckle up, Steelers Nation. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Aiyuk? Leave your opinion in the comments.